are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Tony and Barnes Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Oh, my God. I am riding high right now. It's Friday. Happy Friday, Brian.
Happy Football Friday.
Happy Frenzy Friday.
Frenzy Friday, Football Friday, Udoka Friday. So much to talk about, but we know where we're going to start. We're going to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Sayonara. Where did that land? Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it. Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Did
And
not
we
hear
were
that.
Just short. Judge narrowly missing a walk-off home run, bottom of the ninth for number 61. But the Yankees do walk it off in 10 with a Josh Donaldson single. 5-4 over the Boston Red Sox. In virtue of the Rays' victory over the Blue Jays, the Yankees' magic number now sitting at number 6, Joseph Torre, and they clinch a playoff berth for the 6th consecutive season and 24th out of the last 28 years. So you think about consistently being consistent. And that's all what the New York Yankees are all about. 91 up, 58 down, 53 and 22 at home. And if we look at how we got there, so really, kind of a pitcher's duel early on between Michael Wacha and Jameson Taillon. And you look at Taillon here, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And then as far as Wacha, he does pick up a quality start, but it's one of those things I think we need to adjust the criteria for what a quality start is. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. In no way, Tony, is that a quality start. Don't you think they got to change it to 2 runs over 6?
Yeah, I
450
guess.
ERA. I mean, what's that? 450.
Yeah, that is kind of whack, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's a 5-starter.
Yeah.
And a good team anyway. So I always just thought that was crazy. But looking at this, so, Higgy starts the scoring with a sacrifice fly in the 5th, scoring Oswaldo Cabrera. And then Giancarlo Stanton with a homer to right center, just over that wall there, 377 feet, scoring Josh Donaldson. So that made it 3-0. Stanton hits his 28th home run of the season. And then 7th inning, the Yankees run into a little bit of trouble here. Clark Schmidt, who's been pretty good for the Yankees, gives them 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 2 home runs allowed. 2 home runs allowed to Casas and McGuire. Casas, the solo shot. Reese McGuire with a 3-run homer. So 4-3 Boston. And then we were on to the bottom of the 8th inning where Harrison Bader hits a sac fly, scoring Tim LeCastro, who was, pinch running for Stanton there. So that made it tied at 4. The Yankees, then after that, go to Chapman for an out. He does walk 2 guys, and then Trevino for 2 outs, and then Clay Holmes, a little help from Aaron Judge. I'm not sure if you saw the highlight, Tony, but throwing out the runner at second base, that was pretty impressive. A bullet, they measured it at 92 miles an hour.
Oh,
so
that's it, dude?
You love to see that out of Aaron Judge. And then, so we're on to the bottom of the 10th inning. Holmes does the job in the top half of the inning. And we did have a hero, a walk-off win. I think the Yankees might have set a team record for walk-off wins this season. I'll have to double check that. But basically, so you got Marwin Gonzalez pinch running for Anthony Rizzo for the ghost runner. They intentionally walk Gleyber Torres to bring up Donaldson, and all he does hit a little grounder through that shortstop third base hole, scoring Marwin Gonzalez. Yankees win. The Yankees win 5-4, clinching that playoff berth. And making that magic number at 6. So they're inching closer to that first American League Eastern Division Championship, the first one since 2019. So all in all, a great time to be a New York Yankee, a fan of the New York Yankees. And we're getting ready for postseason baseball. And I'm trying to think too, Tony, the last time that both teams were in the playoffs, I guess, 2015. Okay, because the Yankees did make the wild card loss to the Astros. So it's been 7 years since we've seen both the Yankees and the Mets in the postseason. So really, really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. Were you sweating it out last night, Brian?
No.
No?
There's no sweating.
Josh Donaldson, you weren't sweating a little bit?
No.
No?
No. I mean,
Come on.
this team is relentless. This is 4 in a row now. And they've just, I said it yesterday. I'll keep saying it every day. They've really righted the ship, and it's impressive stuff. And, sure, there's been trials and tribulations, losing 2 out of 3 to the Brewers and, losing that game to the Rays, the Twins back to back. But other than that, during this stretch, I mean, they've done a lot of winning. And if you look at it, it's 4 out of 6 or also 8 out of 10. I mean, you win 8 out of 10 games. That's how you come down the stretch. That's how you close out a division. And it's just impressive stuff now, out of the New York Yankees. So definitely really pumped about that. We got 3 more games over the weekend, including tonight's Apple TV game. A lot of, controversy there. Was on Fox last night. And then, games on Saturday and Sunday as well. And like I had mentioned, I'll be there Sunday. So looking forward to, checking in with you guys then. And who knows, Judge might be going for number 62 then. So if that is the case, me and Mark already talked about it. We'll be standing in right field because, he does. It's funny, though. You think of a big power hitter expecting to pull, but he really hits it opposite field more. So despite a little bit of a blind spot, I will be standing in right if that is the case with that chance at $2.5 million, Tony. What could you do with $2.5 million? Your first thing you would do, go $2.5 million.
Oh, I go bowling.
Come on, Tony. You wouldn't go Mets season tickets?
Off the rip now.
Bowling would come on. A purchase, Tony, not an activity. Will be the first thing you would buy.
Oh, God.
A house? A car?
No. I don't know.
You wouldn't want a box at Citi Field or playoff tickets?
No, yeah, probably. I'd probably go for the Rangers season tickets, honestly, at this point.
Over just buying all the Mets playoff tickets right now? No. You definitely want a nice spot at Citi. Those things are going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I don't know
ridiculous.
if you looked it up. They have to have already started selling them since they clinched.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll be interesting.
Would you have rather seen Judge get another homer last night and get the loss, or you're more happy with the win?
The Yankees win. The Yankees win. That's what it's all about, baby.
Okay.
It's all about the team.
Speaking of all about that, Buffer is in here. He says that he would won by 2.5 million tacos. Tacos are in $1 Buffer, so we have to crunch your numbers a bit better.
And if you're getting them for $1, they're probably not that good.
Not that good. Also says going to party because Aaron Judge didn't homer. And then he says your thoughts on New York Post article saying that the Rangers are going to sign DeGrom in the offseason.
The Rangers?
The Rangers.
I think that's nonsense. The Braves.
Texas?
Sign him.
No way, dude.
I
try the Mets, dude.
And I'll get to my prediction in a second, but tonight's matchup, Tony's buddy Rich Hill on the hill versus Garrett Cole as he looks to rebound from that disappointing start last time out where he did pick up the victory, but ERA is sitting at 3.41 and 236 strikeouts this year, 182 innings. But of course, the bugaboo, Tony, 29 home runs in 182 and a third innings pitched. So we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the Mets starting a weekend series, if you would, sir.
Oh, really? Yes. So the Mets starting a weekend series here in Oakland against the A's. Last night the Braves lost last night.
The Braves did lose.
Yeah,
So the Mets is it a
Phillies
game and a
doing us a
half?
favor, game and a half right now, which is nice because obviously, we were talking about yesterday how it seems that whatever the Mets do or the Braves do, the teams tend to mirror each other. And I was mentioning how the Braves have been kind of, had the Phillies number, have been winning when the Mets are off. But last night we saw the Phillies kind of squeak. I think 1-0 it was,
I
right?
believe it was
They were
1-0.
clinging to a 1-0 lead, and they kind of gritted it out for us here. So the lead now is at a game and a half with the Mets going to Oakland tonight. Chris Bassett on the mound. The return to Oakland for
Emotional,
Bassett.
I'm sure.
Very emotional, I'm sure. And I would imagine, those emotions will translate into good pitching for Chris Bassett. And plus we know Oakland. I mean, at this point, it would be obviously embarrassing if, Cole Irvin, I guess was kind of pitching past the Mets lineup here. So I would imagine, I mean, to start off this Friday, this weekend, the Mets are pumped. The Braves lost last night. They know what they have to do. Eyes on the prize. I think the Mets are going to absolutely, obviously big chance at the sweep, but starting off with just Friday, I think they should, handily take the Oakland A's here. I really don't think they should be an issue at all. I mean, you look at the Oakland A's; they're 55-95. There's really nothing good about them. I want to say Cole Irvin is one of their better pitchers with a 3.79 ERA. But even so, I think the Mets, like I said, at this point, I'm sure are ecstatic. They got momentum on their side. They're hyped because the Braves lost the game. I think they're going to rally around Chris Bassett as well. I think he's going to have a strong first inning, which is going to translate to a strong first inning offensively. I understand, obviously, we are having some issues with injuries and stuff like that. I don't think I got an update on Nimmo. I don't think he's playing, to be honest.
I wouldn't imagine so.
So, but I'm pretty sure McNeil is. Comes back clean after quad injury. It
Day to
says
day.
13 hours, day to day. Buck said so. I would imagine he's sitting this one out. Nonetheless, though, I really don't think, and that's not like a massive loss, to our lineup. Nimmo wasn't doing phenomenal in terms of leading off the lineup, but I still think Mets can take this one. They're at minus 235 right now. I say they could take this one easily, maybe like 5-2, score 5 runs. I mean, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Give up only 2. Bassett gives up 1. Bullpen gives up another. And you're fine, baby.
You are fine. So, obviously, you taking the Mets there. And just to update everybody, 3-2 for the both of us last night. As I hit on the Yankees, the Astros, the Rays. The Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Rays, falling with the Astros and the Steelers. And then you hit on the Pirates, Braves, and Brewers. And no. Brewers, Guardians, and Browns. That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah. So you are 20-23. I am 22, 17-1. So you got the Mets, and then obviously we'll have our football picks. But for me, obviously, of course, I'm going with the New York Yankees. Minus 220 favorites here. Apple TV. So a lot of controversy about that tonight. Rich Hill, I mean, I know Tony's in love with him, but listen, 4.70 ERA this year. The Yankees are going to hammer Hill. And I think it was on the Rays like maybe 2 years ago. He kind of like did really well against us, but he threw us 84 miles an hour. That's a joke. And unfortunately, we're talking Apple TV. I do think, and I know I've said it last couple of nights, but I do think Judge does hit 61 tonight. So it would be interesting to see the Apple TV Plus call on that one. And then I want to say Stanton, he's getting in the groove. I think he'll hit one. And Rizzo, come on, man. Like he's going through something right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe problems at home. Who knows, Tony? But he's got to get focused on the field.
Why do you think it's problems at home?
I don't know. He's struggling.
What is his home? Mentally. Is he married? Does he have kids?
Yeah, he definitely is married.
Definitely married.
Yeah.
Trouble at home.
But I think, and then Cole, a little to prove after last start. So I think Cole, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run, no home runs allowed. Thank God. And I'm going to say Yankees here. let's say 7-3 over the Boston Red Sox. And it's just funny. We're talking about problems at home. And I know Prefer is going to be cheesing hearing this one, but just curious. There's been a lot of talk about Udoka the last couple of days. And of course, we've talked to Brady. So, Tony, I have to ask you this question. Who's getting divorced first, Udoka or Brady?
Udoka, easily, dude.
Not even a question.
No, not even a question.
What do you think
no
Prefer's going to say?
I think he would say the same thing I would.
You guys literally copy each other all the time.
Dude, why? Brady's not getting divorced.
I mean, she's tight. And I heard she's fiery. That's what they said. She gets very
I bet she
aggressive.
She is.
The divorce is happening. Mark it down, Tony. Mark it down. So looking forward, on Monday here. I mean, you think about it, magic number at 6. Potentially the divorce is happening. We could be sitting here on Monday with a AL East is happening. An AL East championship on Monday. So can't wait for that. I think the Yankees will make minced meat of the pathetic Boston Red Sox fans. And it's just so funny because all at the beginning of the year they're chirping. They had that little hot stretch. Oh, watch out. We've had your number in the playoffs. You're not going to the playoffs now. And you are a joke. So have fun following the New England Patriots as they win 6 games this year. And they are a joke as well. And we're already talking about it, Tony. So let's just go to the world of the National Football League.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans! Touchdown, Tampa Bay! How about that throw? Sam Darnold blasted! Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble, what? Brings him down. Lost one from Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down. Touchdown.
I have to say, Tony, I am shocked at the result last night. The Cleveland Browns are an onside kick away from being 3-0 this year as they win last night, 2-1, 29-17. And Jacoby Brissett, another efficient game here, 21-31, 220, 2 touchdowns. You look at Nick Chubb doing his thing on the ground, 23 carries, 113 yards in the score. Kareem Hunt adds 47 on the ground as well. And as a team, 171 yards rushing. So the Browns doing what they do best. And Amari Cooper really playing dividends since coming over in that trade for Dallas, where I think Dallas got a better 5th round pick just to unload his contract. That was crazy. As he goes for 7, 101 in the score. David Njoku with 9 catches, 89 yards and a touchdown. And they did sack Mitchell Trubisky only 1 time, but that was good enough. And Brissett got sacked twice himself, and no interceptions either way. This game, which is kind of odd. But if you take a look at kind of how we got there in terms of the scoring. So Amari Cooper starts it out first quarter.
Amari Cooper,
11-yard touchdown pass from Brissett. That made it 7-0. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the first. Najee Harris, 5-yard run in the second, tying the game at 7. Njoku, 7-yard pass from Brissett in the second, make it 13-7 because we had a stoink extra point. So the second straight week, Cabe York missing an extra point. Mitch Trubisky, 1-yard touchdown run, 3:50 left in the second. 14-13 Pittsburgh at the half. Third quarter, no scoring other than a Cade York 34-yard field goal. So 16-14 in favor of the Browns. And then Nick Chubb, touchdown run, 9:29 left in the fourth. So that made it 23-14. And then Chris Boswell, a 34-yard field goal, 1:48 left to make it 23-17 in favor of Cleveland. The Steelers don't recover the onside kick, but however, get the ball back. And they try a little backyard bullshit, and actually the Browns recover the ball in the end zone. 29-17. The Cleveland Browns defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of talk after this one. Is it time for Kenny Pickett? Mike Tomlin, does his all, I guess you could say poetic talk, and says that they're sticking with Mitch Trubisky now, and they look forward to week 4 against the New York Jets. So that should be a good one. Anything to add here, Tony? I mean, you surprised that the Browns got this done?
No, I mean, if you remember yesterday, I did pick the Browns to win. I talked about the Steelers just not having a lot of offense. Trubisky just not really having it, and I think some of the stats show for it. I mean, the Steelers on third down were 1 for 9, dude. I mean, obviously, it's not very efficient, operations on third down here, which a lot of guys will tell you. I mean, how teams kind of get those first downs in the 3rd and 2s and the 3rd and 4s. It makes or breaks really good teams, and obviously they didn't have it. And also, Cleveland was pretty gritty and took some chances. They were 3 for 4 on 4th down. Not only taking those chances 4 times, but being successful 3 out of the 4 times was pretty good. And now you mentioned, no interceptions in this game, which I would say did surprise me. But Cleveland's defense was pretty good. Only the 2 sacks, but it was for 15-yard loss combined, and it just seems like the Browns were just a little more fiery. I understand, the Steelers losing Watt, not only hurts the team just in terms of their defensive efficiency, but I mean, TJ Watt was like just an animal on the field. I mean, he was hyping people up. He's someone that I would certainly, run into a football game behind and be pretty stoked that he's on my team. And that loss is huge to the Steelers. And I think you're seeing it kind of affect them all around. And because of that, I think the Browns were able to take this one, dude. Amari Cooper also looking good. By the way, Cooper, I think, has 2 touchdowns in the year, and the Cowboys as a team, I think, only has 2 touchdowns on the year.
Interesting stuff.
Think about that.
And before we get to our
catch.
frenzy, we have a couple comments
here. Did you see the catch last night? I did see the catch last night.
Everyone comparing it. George Pickens is the one who made the catch. Everyone comparing it to the Odell Beckham Jr. catch. I mean, it was a good catch, but I don't know.
Yeah, here it is.
All right, we're putting it up.
Yeah, we'll put it up for the people at home. Dude.
And then he also says Brady is getting divorced first.
I did see that.
She says life revolves around football, and she's sick of it. So for once, Tony and Buffer not aligned here.
I wouldn't say for once. Come on, dude.
Kind of. You guys are always teaming up on me.
Also, Buffer. Oh, take it easy, Brian. Buffer said, with the $2.5 million, throw a party with a DTV crew. Hire Jesus Shuttleworth, Garnett, Pierce in 3-on-3 basketball game against us.
I mean, we'd beat them.
Obviously. Dude.
Kevin Garnett sucks.
So bad.
But yeah, so I mean, interesting game.
You're not happy with it, dude?
The game last night?
Yeah, you don't seem very.
I thought the Steelers should have won. I don't know. I just feel like Jacoby Brissett, Tony. I expected Mitch Trubisky have a little more success, and I know they're without Watt, but it's a system, Tony. Steelers, the steel curtain.
Do you think Mitch Trubisky is the system?
I think I don't know. For some reason, getting picked before Watson and Mahomes, I just want him to have success. I feel bad for him, honestly, especially what he had to deal with in Chicago with Matt Nagy.
Yeah, you always, feel bad, I guess.
But anyway, you know what time it is, the football frenzy. So if you would, the Raiders, run them down. We know the Raiders are back in action this week, but where are we going?
We are tight on time, so we're going to do the frenzy is just Brian's frenzy today.
Let's go.
Okay, Brian's going to go quick. Game 1, we got Bills in Miami against the Dolphins. Obviously, Sunday, 1 o'clock, CBS. Buffalo at have 5.5 points for the spread. Both teams 2-0. What do we got?
Bills 38-17.
No contest, huh? Really?
No contest. Tua not having his best game, 3 interceptions.
That's tough. Next game, still 1 o'clock, CBS. The Bears hosting the winless Texans. They are 0-1-1. The Bears being 1-1. Texas, we know how they are over there in Houston. What are we thinking here?
A little controversy surrounding Justin Fields calling out the fans, saying that they think it hurts more when the Bears lose, but it hurts the players more. And then he stepped back. But, you don't like to see that. And I think the Texans, against a weak Bears team, David Montgomery, a little success on the ground. But not enough. And I'm going to say Davis Mills, 300 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, 2 to Brandon Cooks as the Texans win 21-17.
Wow. Some drama over there in Chicago. Next game, still 1 o'clock on Fox. The Las Vegas Raiders are visiting the Titans over there in Tennessee. Both teams 0-2. However, Las Vegas favored by 2 points here. What are we thinking?
The Raiders. They're not going 0-3. Obviously, terrible start to the season. Both teams. Titans are pathetic. They're winning 6 games this year, despite a weak division. The Raiders, let's say 35-14 over the Titans. And then I think we'll see Malik Willis starting next week. Derek Carr, 3 touchdowns to Devontae Adams after only throwing 2 completions to him last week.
Next game, still in the 1 o'clock slot, we have the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes 2-0 in Indianapolis against Matt Ryan and the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts.
Colts are desperate. Unfortunately, you're going against Mahomes. Different animal. Chiefs, let's say 31, Colts 21. As Brandon's Colts go to 0-2-1. Mahomes 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Our next 1 o'clock game, we're going to be following the Detroit Lions as they head into Minnesota to play the Vikings. Both team 1-1. Minnesota has 6 points in the spread here.
Dan Campbell will be crying after this one as the Vikings, a late field goal. I believe it's Greg Joseph, still their kicker, from 56 at the buzzer. Vikings, let's say 28, Lions 25, and Cousins, after 3 interceptions last week, 3 touchdowns, 2 to Justin Jefferson, 1 to Adam Thielen.
Our next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens versing Barnes's favorite team, the New England Patriots.
49-0 Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 600 total yards, 400 passing, 200 rushing, and 6 touchdowns. As the Patriots are made minced meat of at home, embarrassed, Belichick, the whole thing. And the Ravens, after a disappointing collapse last week, get the job done in Foxborough.
You think Belichick's happy about the divorce?
He loves it.
He loves it.
He absolutely loves it. Tommy.
Yeah.
And he's grinning about that one.
You think he takes a shot at Giselle?
No, just because he got divorced himself.
Yeah.
And then he's kissing his daughter on the lips. So
okay. Oh my God. All right. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, the 0-2 with Joe Burrow here. They're going to be in New York. Actually, they're going to be in New Jersey at the Meadowlands playing the New York Jets, who are 1-1, coming up a big win against the Browns last week. What do we got, Brian?
I know this sounds crazy.
Oh, no.
But Joe Flacco, 2nd week in a row, leading the Jets to victory, an absolute shootout. Jets 38, Bengals 35. Flacco 375 through the air. 4 touchdowns, and we're going to say 2 to Garrett Wilson, 1 to Elijah Moore, and 1 to Michael Carter. And as all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we have a quarterback controversy for the New York Jets. First 2-1 start, got to be 6-7 years. I don't think Herm did that in his last season, Michael.
I know you're not a betting man, but if you were, you'd be betting on the Jets this weekend?
+6, you kidding?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Next game, a nice divisional matchup here with the Philadelphia Eagles, still in the 1 o'clock slot, mind you, versus the Washington Commanders in Washington. Eagles 2-0, obviously. Commanders, we know what they're about. I know where you're going with this one, Brian.
Wentz will be dapping up his former teammates, but it doesn't matter. The Eagles, I think Miles Sanders runs for $120, 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. Jalen Hurts, 300 through the air, 2 touchdowns, both to A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith, 6 catches, 130 yards. Wentz, 3 picks. Eagles, let's say 38. Commanders, 17.
All right, our final 1 o'clock slot game here. The New Orleans Saints are going to be in Carolina against the 0-2 Panthers. Who's winning? Who's the starting QB for the Panthers?
So Baker. I mean,
Still.
Darnold's still injured. But Baker, we think Winston throws picks. Baker, 4 picks in this one. Absolutely embarrassed. And I'm going to say Jameis Winston bounces back, throws for 350, 4 touchdowns, including 2 to Michael Thomas. And we're going to say Mark Ingram busts out a 65-yard touchdown. Matt Rule potentially fired on the field like he's Herm Edwards.
Wow.
So let's say 31 to 13 over the Panthers.
When's Darnold coming back? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a whole season. If they don't
Really?
want the controversy.
Oh, you think if he comes back, he's starting? No shot.
I mean, maybe honestly, because Baker might not get a win.
4 interceptions.
Yeah.
All right, next game. We are now into our 405 slot here with the Jacksonville Jaguars playing against the Chargers. At the Chargers, both teams 1-1. LA here is at -7. I mean,
this is going to remind everybody of that game. I think I was a senior in college between the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning against the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to see the same score, 52-49, as the Chargers squeak this one out. 5 touchdowns apiece for Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert. As the Chargers game-winning field goal, I believe it's Dustin Hopkins, if I'm not mistaken, from 45, as the Chargers defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A real offensive explosion, huh, dude?
Yeah.
I believe it is Hopkins. Yes, it is. Dustin Hopkins.
Okay.
Correct. Our next game, we're out of the 405 slot. We're now in the 425 slot. So hold on to your socks, folks. We have the LA Rams in Arizona against the Cardinals. Both teams 1-1. Looks like the Rams are at -3.5.
So almost a complete dumpster fire last week for the Cardinals. Lucky comeback. Not so much this week.
Strider.
Stafford deals with the tennis elbow, throws for 3 scores, passes for 280. And I'm going to say Cooper Kupp, 12 receptions, 180 yards. Rams, let's say 42-24.
Next game, the Atlanta Falcons are in Seattle against the Seahawks. Falcons are 0-2 right now, and Seattle is just at -1 for this game. What are you thinking?
This
Carroll happy?
Carroll, I mean, the Seahawks, it's over. All right. Falcons are hungry.
Geno Smith?
Geno Smith is awful. So I'm going to say Cordarrelle Patterson runs for $160. Mariota throws for $120, but it doesn't matter. Falcons 17-0 over the Seahawks. On the road.
On the
Raiders.
This next game, still in the 425 slot. Vegas has these teams at even here. However, I think Barnes knows exactly where he's going because it's the Green Bay Packers in Tampa Bay against the Bucks, and Tom Brady may be served divorce papers on the field this weekend. What are we thinking, Brian?
So this could potentially be the last matchup, at least in the regular season, between Rodgers and Brady. Aaron 1-3 lifetime against Brady, but he picks up his second victory of the year here. Brady, 3 interceptions, gets hit a lot, roughed up, iPads or whatever, Microsoft Surface thrown all over the field. Rodgers will pass for 400 yards, including 2 touchdowns and 160-yard receiving out of Sammy Watkins, and Aaron Jones 150 scrimmage yards. I'm going to say the Packers here 36, Tampa 16.
And when they come together at the end of the game, Rodgers shakes Brady's hand.
Stiff.
Serves him the
Brady
divorce
pissed.
papers.
Yeah. Rodgers
in the divorce papers.
He's the marshal today.
All right, next game. We are now in prime time, baby. It is 8:20 Sunday night. San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G in Denver against the Broncos. Both teams 1-1. San Francisco -1.5. What do we think about Jimmy G this weekend, dude?
Jimmy G, man. Ride the wave.
Jimmy G, man.
Russ not cooking, getting called out. Maybe he's going to get another divorce. You never know. But I'm going to say the Niners, they're ground and pound, little play action. Deebo Samuel, I think 2 touchdowns. Broncos struggling to score. Nathaniel Hackett on the hot seat already. We're going to say Niners 21-7 over the Denver Broncos. And Russ, like I said, not doing too much cooking these days. And that's actually the last game, Sunday night. So that'll be on NBC, obviously, with Tirico and Collinsworth, Tony's favorite announcers. And then obviously we're all going to look forward to Monday, the Cowboys, the Giants game. The Giants go 3-0. Obviously, we'll talk about it on Monday. However, Tony, if you would, 3 picks, what do you got?
Ooh, okay. First Sunday, let's see. I I mean, I think I'm gonna go with Brady over the Packers.
You love
honestly.
Brady.
Yeah,
Honestly.
let's go.
I might
3-0,
get you a
baby.
Brady jersey.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I had one when I was a kid.
Wow.
When I was really young.
Your mom, did she throw it out?
I think so. I was like, it was like, you know, small. I was
No,
like
no, I
super young. All right. My next pick, I'll take the Raiders. Why
Wow.
not?
Did you
I've
love
been
like
talking
taking
about-
these teams that I talk about a lot? You
Yeah.
just love
Well,
going right
you know,
after.
Derek Carr, you know, I feel like you're pretty hard on Derek Carr, honestly. And I think
Yeah.
he's obviously 0-2 start, not great, but here against the Titans are just fucking, I don't know, man. Hey,
Ass.
Henry.
Yeah.
Too hurt. And then I guess my third pick. Give me the Saints over the Panthers.
Okay.
Panthers are
Baker
0-3.
done in your eyes, dead
It's
to you.
tough, dude. Yeah.
All
gave him a shot,
right.
didn't take it.
So for me here, my 3 picks, I'm going to go with the Rams, the Chargers, and the Ravens. So
Oh.
Rams, Chargers, and
The Ravens.
Rams, Chargers, and the Ravens. And I'm just curious. You didn't pick this one. I didn't pick this one. Obviously, I gave my prediction, but you didn't. Obviously, what do you think happens with the Jets?
Honestly,
Bengals hungry, 0-2.
yeah, Bengals super hungry. Flacco got a little bit lucky last week, I think. I think he doesn't have a great game, and it's pretty clear that Zach Wilson is going to be the quarterback.
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson. I didn't say Zach Wilson. Wait, maybe he'll be called Zach Wilson later in the season. You never know.
You know, I really think Michael is the most loyal Jets fan that there is. You know, I mean, he always stands behind him.
Mhm.
You know, he obviously has seen his performance, since they drafted him last year. But hey, you know,
He
hopefully,
wants it so bad.
you think he returns the following week against Pittsburgh? Sack?
Yeah, Zach Wilson. You like that?
No, like
Zach
honestly though, don't you think he's like terrible or no?
Zach Wilson? Yeah. I don't think he's going to be that great.
But he's too focused on his mom's friends.
yeah,
You know?
clearly.
All the drama these days
so
is
stupid,
divorces.
dude.
and,
Oh, like, can't you just like hold it down? You know?
yeah.
Like,
But
figure it
also the last thing, Tony, because I know we're up against it. I just want to say that just really just annoys me like no other is like the whole Adoku thing. Like
Mhm.
it all revolves around the same thing, that there's this overwhelming need to act that everybody we're all such good people. We all don't do anything wrong. It's like that always needs to be the central message. And it's like, it's not true.
That's not true.
Everyone does this type of stuff. Why do we have to act like it's like, oh my God, we can't allow that in our society? It happens all the time. And the people that are like bringing down the hammer are doing it themselves. Right? Or no? Like,
yeah, very hypocritical of them over
yeah.
there.
Well, why is it though? Why the obsession with acting like we're all good people? We're gonna send a message. Like, why?
No
Why do we do
idea.
that?
I don't know. No one's a good person.
No.
No.
Besides us.
Yeah.
And then I guess a couple comments on the way out from Refer.
Yes, real quick. Prefer says if he were Belichick, where'd it go? Oh, here we go. If he were Belichick, he would have tried to control Giselle. This option cheaper than signing / keeping Brady. You like that, huh?
Yeah.
And then Raiders, the law of averages.
So Prefer is going with the Raiders.
Obviously. My NFL picks, he says.
Arizona,
Jacksonville, and New
He
England.
just did that because of
dude.
the exact opposite of what I did. Prefer acts like I was born yesterday. Relax. But obviously today, we came in hot. Quick episode. I think will be a little more in-depth analysis of recapping the games for over the weekend on Monday. But other than that, Tony, as we head into this weekend, any words of wisdom on the way out?
Let's go Mets. Rangers, I think, are in training camp as well, so they're back at it right now. Stoked for that, and yeah, dude.
Get better, Zach Wilson, or no?
Get better, Zach Wilson, dude. Focus on your mom's friends.
I think Michael's gonna be tight once you
yeah.
we just calling him out. But anyway, Tony, I mean, obviously tons of football this weekend, but really just looking forward to the Yankees, man. It's all about the Yankees. Can't wait for postseason baseball. I just can't wait to break it down with you, man. I'm so excited for postseason baseball,
around
man.
the corner.
There's nothing better, and especially you having to wait 6 years. You haven't had a series in 7. I mean, been a long time.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely
game.
can't wait.
He'll be glued to the TV.
And we can't wait to share it all with you. As Prefer says, good show, guys, on the way out.
Thank you, Prefer.
But once again, to the Prefers of the world, the Chokeries of the world, we really appreciate you tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as checking out the archives on the YouTube page and the summer turning into fall collection, downtimetv.com. Everybody enjoy the day, the weekend, the games. Let's go Yankees.
Go Mets.
And we will see you on Monday. The divorce is happening.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.